And welcome back to SHOT Show TV. I am Bob Fryer. We've got Kelly Reisdorf. She is the CEO of USA Shooting. And am I right? We're doing the math right? 6 months on the job, basically?
Yes.
Officially, correct?
Basically, yes.
Let's talk a little bit about 2024 before we get to 2025, because what a year USA Shooting had in 2024. 68 international medals, 5 Olympic medals, 1 Paralympic medal.
Yeah.
What happened in 2024? What's the big success?
It was a big year.
Yeah.
You know, our athletes, we're the only country in the world whose government doesn't subsidize the Olympics. So all of the funding comes from a lot of partners here, from the industry, from outside the industry. And so we kind of have to do it what I call the hard way versus not having, a government subsidy to support you. And that it all kind of goes back to our athletes and the amount of sacrifice, and their lives are kind of oriented around this pursuit of excellence and discipline and marksmanship.
Right.
And so, on the able-bodied side, we came home with 5 medals, which is amazing.
Oh.
And we had one of our top athletes from the Army Marksman Unit, Sajin Madalena, who finally medaled in rifle, and she took a silver, as well as our shotgun program is extremely strong too.
Right.
So,
well, you're giving away a lot of the credit to the athletes, which obviously they deserve. You were on the job about 6 months. Were any programs put into place at the Olympic Training Center? Maybe something special going on? Maybe we had lens crafters involved, getting them all new glasses. What's going on there?
we do. We have a bunch of new sponsors.
Okay.
Speaking of hearing protection, I was just with Axel, one of the largest hearing protection companies in the world. And, our athletes have, they do use some of their products, as well as, from ammunition manufacturers, firearms manufacturers, eye protection, even the vests, kind of all of it goes into the Olympic style events, whether it's trap and skeet or rifle and pistol. So.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit now about 2025, because you'll be on the job full time for that whole year. Yeah. You've agreed to stay on at least through when?
Through the LA Olympics.
Through the LA Olympics.
Which is in 2028.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are the plans for 2025? What do you got in mind?
So the big thing is really, it's the first year of a quad. And we're going through selection for our national teams across all of our disciplines. But also, we're looking to our junior programs, to all the feeder systems across the country.
Nice. I'm
looking to have stronger partnerships across all of those so that we can not only bring more people to the sport, but get better at identifying Olympic potential talents.
Really?
Across shotgun, rifle, and pistol.
It's not a system where they sort of earn their way through, like they number one here, number one there. Is it more of a selection?
It's not as cookie cutter as that. We have different feeder systems. How athletes come to our pistol Olympic sport versus rifle versus shotgun is actually very different. The journey is different. And so we want to integrate more with that junior level, and that even our we have 36 D1 rifle NCAA programs in the country. I want to do more with them, more with those coaches, so that we have a broader pipeline of talent. So the first year in the quad is really when we can spend more time finding more talent to have an even stronger team.
Gotcha. Let's talk about your week here at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
So I would imagine your gig here this week is to, as you were saying, reach out to all the manufacturers here, people who will support USA Shooting. Is that what you're going to be doing?
Yes, a mixture of spending time with our existing supporters. We have a lot of financial supporters, as well as finding new supporters.
Yeah.
I'm also not only just looking for people to give us money to write checks, but also for storytelling partners. I really feel that the Olympic journey and what these Olympic hopefuls go through is sort of an amazing part of a story that's not really told widely in the shooting sports. And I want to do more of that leading up to LA. I do think that for the broader, 330 Americans in the country, I think they might be interested to know, how people come to the sport and why they do it.
I think in many ways, it's almost the best part of the Olympics is seeing the stories of how they got there.
It's incredible, and kind of what these athletes go through and why shooting is their sport, and how it's changed their lives. I think that there's a place for that.
I agree completely. Are there advancements that you see at SHOT Week in the equipment that you go, oh, you know what? That might really help us in the Olympics?
So there are some really interesting clay target types of technologies that are more flexible, that are kind of moving away from sort of like the existing structures that we're used to at ranges where we're looking for solutions that can help our athletes train anywhere and everywhere. So
Gotcha.
because range capacity is so difficult to come by.
So not just at the training center in Colorado Springs.
Correct. Because we've got athletes all around the country.
Yeah.
So we do have the training center still, but we're always looking for ways to meet athletes where they are at.
Okay. And do more with less, maybe? Maybe things
That's
that
a
are a
part
little
of it
less
too.
expensive?
It's definitely a part of it too, yeah.
It's a big job.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be great to have you at least through 2028.
Yes.
Kelly Reisdorf,
Yes,
thank you so much for
Yeah.
spending some time with us.
Thank you.
And again, for SHOT Show TV, I'm Bob Fryer.